Hello friends, welcome to Diksha Aifer classroom. In the last few days, we have been discussing the various questions from previous NTA NET examinations. So far, we have discussed the questions from the topic of logical reasoning, higher education, mathematical reasoning, communication, teaching aptitude. Like in first paper topics, we have discussed many questions from different subjects, and today we are going to discuss the questions from information and communication technology. And these questions NTA were asked by in the last NET examinations, which were happened in the months of October, September and November. So friends, let's move to the first question. So this one is the first question. So the question is, the file extension of Microsoft Word document in Office 2007 is. So the question is related to the file extension. We know about the file extension. Then the file extension of Microsoft Word document in Office 2007 is, and we have given four options. First one .docs and .png, .doc and .jpg. Out of these four options, which option is representing the file extension of the Microsoft Word document in Office 2007? This is the question, and you can comment your answer. And if you want more time to do the answer, you can pause the video and you can think about this question and you can do your comment, and later you can continue to this discussion. So let's move to check the answer. So the answer is dogs. So first of all, in order to do the answer of this question, we have to understand what is file extension, or what do you mean by file extension. So the file extension means it is a suffix. We know about suffix. So normally the suffix is using at the end of the file name, and it is a suffix using at the end of file name, and it shows what types of file is. It indicates what kinds of file is. So the file extension means it is a suffix at the end of a file name. It indicates what kinds of file is, whether it is Word file, or whether it is image file, or whether it is video file. So we can understand which kinds of file is when we see the suffix of at the end of the file name. So here the question is, the file extension of Microsoft Word document in Office 2007 is, it is docs. Docs is the file extension of Microsoft Word document in Office 2007, and docs is the newer version of doc. And regarding PNG and the JPG, we know that it is the file extension of image format, image documents. .png and .jpg is the file extension of image document, and here the question is related to Word document, which is by Microsoft MS Office 2007. So the answer is .docs. So I hope you have understood the question and the answer, and if you have any doubts, you can ask your doubt as a comment. We will be clarified your doubts as soon as possible. So friends, we can move to the next one. In this question, we can see that we have given two statements, assertion and reason. And again, we have given four options. In the lights of above statements, we have to be selected the best appropriate answer from these given options. So let's read the question. So first of all, we have to read the assertion. Total number of mobile users in India is increasing rapidly. The total number of mobile users in India is increasing rapidly. Then the reason, the cost of the mobile is decreasing. So the assertion is total number of mobile users are increasing in India rapidly, and the reason, the cost of the mobile phone is decreasing. In the light of above statements, we have given 4 options. Option A, both assertion and reason are correct, and reason is the correct explanation of assertion. And option B, both assertion and reason are correct, but R is not the correct explanation of assertion. And option C, assertion is correct, but the reason is not correct. And option D, assertion is not correct, but reason is correct. So, in the light of above statement, we have to be selected the appropriate answer from these options. So, now you can comment your answer. And if you want more time, you can pause the video and later you can continue to this discussion. So let's check the answer. So the answer is option A, both assertion and reason are right, and the reason is the correct explanation of assertion. So we know that this question is one of the simple question which NTA has asked the last examination, and we know that regarding the total number of mobile users in India is increasing rapidly. That is absolutely right. Even without a single shadow of doubt, we can say that the total number of mobile users in India is increasing rapidly. So we know that especially in the digital era or in the COVID situations, the user of mobile numbers are tremendously increased, because nowadays the education and other employments are happening through mobile phones, or the mobile phone is the essential device to do our academic programs as well as to do our employment. So for the purpose of job activities as well as for the purpose of educational activities, the mobile phone is very important, and as usual for calling and for other usual purpose also the mobile phones are needed to the people. So in India, the mobile usage in India is increasing rapidly or tremendously, we can say that. So the assertion is right. When it comes to the reason, the cost of the mobile phone is decreasing. We know very well in India, the people in India, most of the people in India are poor people. They don't have enough money to live here. We know that underemployment, there is underemployment in India. People don't have good jobs. They are suffering to eat foods and drink water. So for buying, in the past times we can say that the people didn't have affordable to purchase the mobile phone, because the initial stage, when the mobile phones introducing in India, at the initial stage the mobile phone has higher prices. So the people from India couldn't buy mobile phone during that time when mobile phones has introduced in India. But now the situation is changed. The cost of the mobile phone has been decreasing. The price of the mobile phone has been decreasing. So the people, when we can say that the prices of mobile phone have started decreasing and the people have started buying it continuously. So the reason why the mobile usage is increasing in India is, it is because of the cost of the mobile phone is decreasing. When the cost of the mobile phone is decreasing, the price of the mobile phone is also decreasing. So the reason why the number of mobile users are increasing rapidly in India means, the answer is because the prices of the mobile phones are decreasing, so that people are affordable to buy mobile phone in India. So the answer is option A, both assertion and reason are correct, and the reason is the correct explanation of assertion. So friends, we can move to the next one. So this question, what is the full form of the abbreviation of IoT. So in this question, it is regarding to the full form and abbreviation. We have given IoT. We have to be identified the full form of IoT, and we have given 4 options. Option A, International Office of Tourism, and option B, Internet of Things, and option C, Internet of Thing, and option D, Instrument of Telecommunication. So out of these 4 options, which one is the full form of the abbreviation of Internet, abbreviation of IoT? Whether it is International Office of Tourism, or whether it is Internet of Things, or whether it is Internet of Thing, or whether it is Instrument of Telecommunication, which one is the full form of the abbreviation of IoT? So you can comment your answer. Otherwise, we are going to move to check the answer. So the answer is Internet of Things. We know that IoT stands for Internet of Things. Maybe next time they will be asked questions like, what do you mean by IoT, or the what is IoT? Like the questions we can be expected from the coming examinations. So we have to be understood very clearly. So we have to be understood very clearly. IoT means the connection of, or the Internet of Things means, simply we can say that the connection of physical objects to the internet. The connection between physical objects to the internet, we can say that Internet of Things. So through the Internet of Things, or the technology Internet of Things facilitates to connect our fridge or the refrigerator, washing machine, AC, fan, lights, motorcycles, our vehicles, like these kinds of physical objects we can connect to the internet. And when we connect these kinds of things to the internet, and for off the switch, we don't want to, for off the bulb, we don't want to move to the switch, and we don't want to switch off the switch. Instead, we can off the bulbs or on the fans through touching in our mobile phones. So these kinds of facilities are providing through the Internet of Things. So we have to be understood very clearly. Maybe maybe next time they will be asked the questions in some other ways. So we have to study it clearly. IoT means Internet of Things. Internet of Things means the connection between physical objects to the internet. We have to be understood it clearly. So I hope you have understood. Then we can move to the next one. So this is the next question. Which type of memory holds the computer startup routine? Which type of memory holds the computer startup routine? Then we have given 4 options. Option A, RAM. Option B, WAN. Option C, ROM. And option D, cache. So which of the following is holding? Which of the following is holding the computer startup routine? Which of the following is the memory that holds the computer startup routine? We need to identify that. You can comment your answer. We can move to the answer. So the answer is ROM. ROM is a memory that holds the computer startup routine. So don't forget, I repeat, ROM is the memory that holds the computer startup routine. And we know about ROM. So what is ROM? If you have any idea regarding ROM, I hope you all have the idea. You all have better understandings regarding ROM. So we have been seeing these terms in from our childhood itself. So the ROM means read only memory. Maybe the next time they will be asked like the questions like, what is the full form of ROM? We can be expected the questions from like this. What is the full form of ROM? Or what is the full form of RAM? Or what is the full form of WAN? Or what do you mean by cache? These kinds of questions we can be expected from the coming examination. So the ROM means read only memory, and the RAM means random access memory, and WAN is wide area network. So wide area network is not not regarding computer memory. We know that wide area network means it is the connection of networks. It is the connection of networks between, we can say that WAN means wide area network, globally connected computer network. We can say that it is WAN. And regarding RAM means random access memory. It is a volatile and temporary memory. And the ROM means read only memory is a non-volatile permanent memory, and this ROM memory holds the computer startup routine. So we need to understand it is very clearly. So we can move to the next one. URL stands for. Again, the question is related to the abbreviation and the full form. So when we analyzed the questions from information and communication technology, especially the questions from the last year or the previous year examinations, one thing we can be understood, that is there are lots of questions regarding abbreviations and full forms, and we can say that there were at least one question regarding full forms or these kinds of abbreviations in information and communication technology. So we have to study very clearly the abbreviations or the full forms of the abbreviation of these kinds of things. We have to study very clearly and specifically, because NTA has been asking these kind of questions from the topic information and communication technology. So the URL stands for, we have given 4 options. First one, universal resource location, and second one, universal response locator, and third one, unified response location, and fourth one, uniform resource locator. So we have given 4 options. Out of these 4 options, which option stands the full form of URL? We need to identify that. And in this question, when we don't have adequate information regarding URL, then this question will be very difficult, because the 4 options, you can see the 4 options, whether it is universal resource location, or whether it is universal response locator, or whether it is unified response locator, or whether it is uniform resource locator. The all options are very similar to each other, and all the options are complicated options, and all the options are difficult options when we don't have adequate information regarding URL. So these kinds of abbreviations and the full form of the abbreviations, we have to be studied very clearly, otherwise we will be missed the marks from the information and communication technology. So we can check the answer. So the answer is uniform resource locator. So the URL stands for uniform resource locator. Don't forget, I repeat, URL stands for uniform resource locator, and the uniform resource locator means it helps, URL helps to get the websites, or we can say that URL means web address. Simply we can say that URL means web address or the internet address. URL means web address or internet address. So through the URL we can get websites and the informations what actually we want. So URL stands for uniform resource locator. Don't forget this. So let's move to the next one. So the next question is RAM is placed on. So we have discussed it earlier. RAM means random access memory, and we said that it is a volatile temporary memory. And in this question, where the RAM is placed, we want to understand, or we want to choose the answer. The question is, the RAM is placed on where the random access memory is placed, whether it is placed in hard disk, or whether it is placed in extension board, or whether it is placed in motherboard, or whether it is placed in USB. So if you have known the answer regarding where the RAM is or where the random access memory is placed, you can comment your answer. So the answer is motherboard. So don't forget, RAM is random access memory is placed on motherboard. USB means it is an removable storage where the RAM is not placed and RAM is not placed in hard disk and extension board. So the answer is motherboard. In motherboard we can see the RAM, random access memory, we can see from motherboard. So the answer is motherboard. And the next question, which one of the following is not a web browser? So this kind of questions we have to be read very clearly, otherwise there is a chance for to do the wrong answers, because here the question is regarding web browsers, and moreover we need to understand the word not here. So the question is not related to which one of the following is the example of web browser, but the question is not a web browser. So we have given 4 options. First one Firefox, then Facebook, then Chrome, then Safari. Out of these 4 options, one option represents a not web browser. The other 3 are the web browsers, and any one of them is not a web browser. So out of these 4 options, we need to select which one is not a web browser. Whether it is Firefox or Facebook or Chrome or Safari, we need to understand that it is an easier question, because all these things are similar to us in day by day. We are using Firefox, Facebook, Chrome and Safari, so we can do the answer in very simple way, or we can do the answer in very fast. So we don't want to like we can do the answer in simple way. So let's check the answer. So the answer is Facebook. We know that Facebook is not a web browser. It is an example of social media. So we know that Facebook is a social networking website, and it is not a web browser. It is a social media networks. So, and we know that Facebook has the initiation of Mark Zuckerberg, and one of the most using social media is Facebook. We know that, so Facebook is not a web browser. It is a social networking site. And regarding Firefox is a web browser. Firefox is a web browser, and Chrome is also a web browser, and Safari is also a web browser. And we can be expected the questions from coming examinations like who has made the Firefox, or who has made the Chrome, or who has made the Safari. These kinds of questions we can be expected from coming examinations. So study it now. So Firefox is a web browser by Mozilla. The web browser Firefox is created by Mozilla company. And Chrome, we know that it is a web browser of Google. Google has developed the Chrome. And Safari is Apple. Apple is made the Safari. Safari is the web browser of Apple. So don't forget, Firefox is the web browser of Mozilla. Chrome is a web browser of Google, and Safari is the web browser of Apple. And Facebook is not a web browser. It is a social media networks. So I hope you have understood this question. Then again the question is, which of the following statements are correct? And we have given 5 statements. The statement 1, option A, NKN stands for New Knowledge Network. Then option B, MOOCs are offline courses. And option C, National Supercomputing Mission is a Government of India initiative. And option D, clock rate is CPU is measured in gigabytes. And option E, Paramshivai is a supercomputer. We have given these 5 statements, and we need to understand which statement is correct and which statement is wrong. We need to identify that. Then we have given again the 4 options. The right statements are C and E. Then option 2, the right statements are B and C only. And option C, the correct statements are C and D only. And option D says the correct statements are option A and E only. We need to identify which option is correct. So let's check the answer. You can comment your answer for these questions. This is a long question, and if you want more time to do the answer, you can pause the video and later you can comment your answer. So let's move to the answer. So the answer is C and E. Out of these 5 statements, only 2 statements are correct, or only 2 statements are right. Those statements are statement C and statement E. So we can check one by one. So first of all, the NKN stands for, here it is given new knowledge network, but it is wrong. Instead of new, it is national. Instead of new, it is national knowledge network. NKN stands for national knowledge networks. And again, the second one, MOOCs are offline courses, but it is wrong. MOOCs are online courses. MOOCs are not offline courses. MOOCs are online courses. And maybe we have to be studied the full form of the abbreviation of MOOC. Full form of the abbreviation of the MOOCs will be asked by the next term. So the MOOC means massive online open course. Don't forget that. Then regarding option C, it is right answer, right statement, because the National Supercomputing Mission is a Government of India initiative. So in the last day, we have discussed about National Supercomputing Mission. In that discussion, we have explained very clearly what is National Supercomputing Mission. So I repeat that thing in this question. So National Supercomputing Mission, it is a mission or the proposal of the Government of India, and that proposal says, or that initiation of the Government of India regarding National Supercomputing Mission is, it is a cluster of 70 supercomputers. So don't forget, it is a cluster of 70 supercomputers that connects the academic and research institutions across the India in order to enhance the productivity and the quality. So the National Supercomputing Mission is the initiative of the Government of India, and this initiative says it is a cluster of 70 supercomputers networks that connects academic and research institutions across India for enhancing the academic and research performance. So don't forget, the statement is correct. And regarding the D, the clock rate of CPU is measured in gigabyte. It is wrong. It is calculated in gigahertz. Gigahertz is using to calculate the clock rate of CPU. Don't forget it. And the Param Shiva is a supercomputer. That is right. The Param Shiva is a supercomputer. So among these 5 statements, only option C and E are right. Others are wrong. So all these things you have to be understood very clearly. So these are the questions we have discussed today. And among these discussions, if you have any doubts, you can ask your doubts, or the remaining questions which NTA has asked the last examinations. So we will be discussed in the coming sessions. So wait to next discussion. Thank you.